This one is really interesting to me because this is something that I have actually had this treatment before. How much do you know about Reiki?
Very little. I have a
Very
friend
little?
that's a licensed practitioner of it. They've offered to give me free sessions, and I've declined.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
I want to bring Kennita on because Kennita has a cousin who's a Reiki practitioner.
Okay.
So Kennita, I'd love to hear about
Hi.
your cousin. Hi.
Hello.
Right. I mean, my cousin, she's a Christian, but she still does this thing that seems to me to be very woo. And I went in, you know, she said, "Oh, I'll do a treatment for you." And it looked to me like it was just massage. And I thought, well, sure, I can stand a massage. But she starts putting these crystals around me. And, you know, apparently, like, I have my eyes closed, but apparently, you know, it's like, well, this is, you know, a peridot, and these are different kinds of, you know, and putting a sandstone by your left foot or something. It's very strange, you know. It's like, okay, I didn't notice anything about any of these stones, but it was nice having a, you know, a massage and to have sort of a meditative thing where I can, you know, take some time out and listen to some quiet music and things like that. So I thought, you know, she actually thinks that this is working. So I didn't know whether it was even okay for, you know, to be playing her this way, right? Because I'm getting, so
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
She's calling you right now.
No, but so anyway, I guess just is it really all right for me to just go along with it, as opposed to calling her out and saying, you know, you actually are, you know, you're doing something that doesn't really make any sense. But I just wanted to, you know, see what your take is on that. Does it even? I don't know. Because I'm being duplicitous in a sense, right?
I think I know what you're asking. Like that you've gone in and you've had her give these treatments to you. You didn't hate it. It was actually maybe a little bit enjoyable. But by getting the treatments, maybe you're worried that you're going to be confirming to her that what she's doing is something that's like a very valid type of treatment for something. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah. So I do have a few kind of thoughts about Reiki in particular. So Reiki is a type of like energy. It's called energy work. So it is a form of touch therapy. And some Reiki therapists will use like crystals and other things. And some Reiki therapists will do some sort of massage. Some of them actually won't even touch you. They'll place their hand in certain parts in your body, like as a pressure point thing. It depends on the practitioner. So I've had a Reiki treatment, and for me, I do see it as something that still can be something beneficial for somebody who is needing some sort of touch therapy. Because I used to work in the spa industry, and I know that there is a lot of benefit to having personal attention and touching, like just having somebody giving you that time of day where you're the focus of it. And whether they're putting a crystal on your back or just putting their hand on your forehead, the experience can be quite relaxing. I think it does vary from something like maybe chiropractic or acupuncture, in the fact that I think it is on the end of harmless on the spectrum. So I think that it is something, I don't think you should feel bad about going and getting it, because I think that it can be something that's really relaxing. And if it's your cousin, it might make her feel kind of special that you're coming in to get this treatment. I think that I wouldn't go in there to get treatment for some sort of ailment that you should actually go see a doctor about. And I don't think that there should be any kind of crossover where you're, you know, using her practice as something where you're referring it to people when they have a serious medical condition where they should actually be going and, you know, getting tested. But I do think there's value in touch therapy, even if it's not really doing anything scientifically. That's kind of where I'm at that.
But it seems like it could be, like you were talking about, you know, you wouldn't recommend somebody go in for that if they had a real ailment. Mm-hmm. But if she feels like what the things that she's doing are helping with those kind of ailments, then she might be more likely to recommend that somebody do that instead of going to a doctor, and that could be a bad thing.
So that's when it becomes dangerous. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, is she advertising that she treats conditions that aren't, you know, the basic things that you would get by going to the spa?
I actually haven't paid a whole lot of attention. She's in Cleveland, so and I'm in California, so we don't see each other that much. I was just visiting Cleveland, and she said, "Oh, while you're out here, you should come and get a Reiki treatment." And it's like, sure. And, you know, so now again, you know, I know, again, yeah, like you said, it's relaxing, and it was, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
like on the spectrum,
the oil smelled nice and so on.
Yeah, I see it as like on the spectrum of things that are kind of pseudoscientific. I see it on the very, very low end of harmful. If anything, I think that the biggest risks that you're going to have going in there is that you're going to be maybe promised something like relief from something that you actually won't get relief from, whether it's just like, you know, a backache or indigestion. I know that they do claim things that they can treat. I don't think that going in there with any kind of expectation of that. And so in that way, you could be wasting time, wasting money. If you were to go in there just with the idea of, I need some, maybe I have been really busy and I really haven't had a chance to sit down at all. And this is going to be an opportunity for me to lay down for a full, you know, 45 minutes and smell some candles, and somebody's going to touch me in a very intentional way. I think that's fine. But I think there is something to be worried about in the fact of what they are promoting that they can do, because I know that there are Reiki practitioners out there that will have on their websites that they treat a variety of conditions that they shouldn't be putting that on there. Yeah. So it's a tricky one. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, and it's Trevor, always that, oh no, that it's that line too of like with any of those like woo kind of things is, if you're saying, okay, I'm going to go to a doctor and I'm going to get this treated, but also on the side, I'm going to see if this does anything. But you're still going to the doctor and you're still getting that treatment, then yeah, it's cool. But like if you're, that's when it gets dangerous, is when you're replacing it. Like, I think that's all I really had to add to that.
Well, and I have friends who practice a Wicca, and they also will say, you know, well, you know, come in and I'll do this reading for you, or do this treatment or these herbs or whatever, and cure something that's wrong with you. And yeah, it's like the Reiki, only different. It's, instead of it being a massage, they'll have a ritual that they'll do. And at the same time, it's also, great. It's nice to sit and meditate and be quiet, and maybe even to, you know, concentrate on, I don't know, different, look at your air element will cause your mind to be clear, or whatever, things like that. And well, okay, it's maybe nice again to think about, but as long as you don't. But they actually believe that it's making a difference, and I'm not like, yeah.
Well, you can't kind of push anybody into doubting kind of where their positions are unless they're at a place where they're curious about it themselves. So I mean, if it comes up and you're in a conversation, like there are sometimes opportunities to like kind of ask them like, so what do you think is actually going on with this? Using some kind of street epistemology type questions, but there's not always an opportunity for that, especially if it's a family member that you don't see that often. And there's a good chunk of people out there that are just not that interested in and not that curious about whether they are whether they have the truth on something. So it's as much as we want everybody to care about the truth, you can't force people to care about whether their beliefs are true.
True. Well, yeah, the Wiccans are actually out here in California. And I guess I haven't actually tried street epistemology on that. Like sort of the how sure are you that this is true, and asking questions and then seeing if they're a little less sure it's true. But and yeah, I haven't really done a lot of the street epistemology. I could probably stand more practice.
You know, it's always good to like kind of know where, if the opportunity arises, what you would say to people in your life that maybe are holding on to beliefs that you are curious whether they have thought about them that much. I definitely don't recommend calling up everybody and starting in with them. But it's good to like kind of have a few questions in your back pocket and have it come up organically and just ask them about it. But yeah, I think I will let you go, Kennita. I appreciate you calling in again. It's nice talking to you. And yeah, if you're going to get Reiki, just make sure that you're not getting it for anything super serious, because it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
But it might feel very relaxing. I had Reiki one time. During that same time that I got the tattoo. And I had a young child. I have 2 kids, and my youngest was a year old, and I don't think I'd slept very much in a year. And so I decided to go get Reiki from this lady who was trained. She had been trained in Japan. Like, she was the real deal. I went in there and I laid down on her bed and I fell asleep right away. So my experience with Reiki, but it was really nice. I had the deepest nap. I had the deepest nap I ever had in my life. I only remember her putting her hands on my forehead. And that was it. So I didn't get hurt. It wasn't dangerous. I maybe wasted a few bucks because I just had a good nap, but it worked for me.
Yeah, exactly.